Franchises are often synonymous with the food industry. Popular names such as McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Wendy's, Subway, Burger King, all leading the charge when it comes to fast casual restaurants. Today, we're going to delve into why the $5 footlong promotion ultimately failed Subway franchisees. At its peak in 2015, Subway had over 27,000 restaurants. We fast forward to today. At the end of 2021, they ended the year with less than 22,000 restaurants. In the last 3 years, they have been closing over 1,000 restaurants on average per year. These kind of numbers, we gotta go back and see the origins of the $5 footlong and understand why this ultimately failed their franchisees, but at the same time it also brought them to the next level when it came to franchising. When we go back to 2003, a South Florida franchisee named Stuart Frankel wanted to do something different at his locations. He had 2 locations in the Miami area, and he started a weekend promotion offering Subway footlong sandwiches for $5 instead of $6. He really liked the round number, and at his store that even included tax. This experiment led to over 4 times the amount of traffic he was seeing on average at the normal Subway franchise locations. He shared this with other nearby operators who saw sales increase up to 50%. Overall, corporate didn't really take notice of the promotion, even though Frankel was providing reporting and he kept detailed records of the impacts it was having on his store. It was not until 2008 when the economy took a turn and all of a sudden they needed some new marketing. For over a decade, they were using Jared Fogle, the man that lost 225 pounds, eating a diet mainly consisting of Subway sandwiches, which while it was impressive, overall the consumer's mindset around 2008 began to shift, and value really was the focus. We saw brands like McDonald's launching their dollar menu, brands doing what they could to get the customers to come in. Subway corporate finally took notice of what Frankel was doing and brought him in to test pilot a national promotion. Right away, it got traction. They decided to go national, and in 2008 to 2009, that promotion alone accounted for over $3.8 billion in revenue for Subway. At the time, people were looking for work. There was low-cost labor available. Food costs were relatively low, and landlords could not afford to raise rents on tenants as businesses were closing. This still allowed for a healthy profit margin, even when they were only charging $5 a sandwich. On the development side, Subway became viewed as one of these franchises that was an extremely low cost when it comes to food. When we look at brands like McDonald's and Culver's, these other franchises where the build-outs average well over $500,000 to $1 million, Subway came in somewhere between $150,000 and $300,000. Those numbers were very attractive, and it brought numerous investors, including many recent immigrants. Subway's development team pursued a very aggressive development strategy that touted an anywhere and everywhere approach to franchising. We saw Subways popping up in malls, gas stations, churches, college campuses. These were seen everywhere. And not to mention, there was probably 1 or 2 on every main street in America. By 2015, they were opening about as many restaurants as they were closing. They opened 911 restaurants and they closed 877 restaurants. This type of strategy was not sustainable. A lot of it had to do with their high royalties of over 12.5% of their weekly gross sales. Also, rising inflation, rising rent costs, increasing minimum wage, food costs made it nearly impossible to sell a sandwich at $5 and make a profit still. Corporate really did not try to keep up with current market trends. They were okay with just being more of a healthy value sub, and so they didn't focus on menu innovation. Competitors took notice. Brands like Jimmy John's, Jersey Mike's, a lot of customers would agree that their products were much better. It drove a lot of customers away when the price point started to rise. Subway made several attempts over the years to revive the $5 footlong, and in 2017 it came back as a $4.99 deal. The franchisees pushed back hard. They proved that the numbers were not profitable on a majority of their sandwiches, and even down to a turkey sub, it was as little as 15 cents. Those numbers just are not sustainable at a franchisee level. The profitability to be able to keep labor, to be able to maintain your overhead, they needed to be able to generate more profit than that. On average, we see restaurants are at around 3 to 5%. Ideally, we'd like to see them closer to 10%. When we look at those numbers, we can tell that when they run the promotion, it was not profitable. When they tried to bring back the promotion in 2020, they started up a 2 for $10 deal. The Subway franchisees filed a complaint with the FTC that stated they were being bullied into an unprofitable promotion. They ended up pulling that pretty quickly, and since then, we haven't seen anything come out about another $5 footlong promotion. A franchise business model needs to be profitable. That's what makes a franchise work. And that partnership needs to be one that is advantageous and mutually beneficial. The consumer focus today, 2023, is more health focused. And people really want more nutrition, and they've realized that bread and lunch meat, veggies, is not all that nutritious, and it's not exactly what they want. The $5 footlong promotion failed Subway franchisees because it was no longer profitable, yet corporate continued to push that was the marketing strategy they wanted to use. Consumers these days are well educated about what they're putting into their body, and they definitely want to make sure that whatever they're getting is high quality. Subway hasn't always been known for that. Throughout the years, the additives, they needed to change their bread recipe at one point. Subway's corporate team spent more time expanding locations at a franchise level than they ever did innovating the menu. That really failed their franchisees in the long run. Franchisees need that innovation to drive that customer traffic. They cannot rely on a $5 footlong promotion forever. At some point, the numbers didn't work out. In the beginning, it was mutually beneficial, but by 2017, continuing to run any sort of promotion at that price point was not what they needed to do to drive the traffic. Rather, focus on quality, menu innovation, and bringing their customers back for the experience. Any questions, leave them in the comments below. I look forward to hearing them. And as always, if you need help looking at franchises, feel free to reach out. Schedule a time with me. We have a free consultation process. Happy to tell you more about. Hit that subscribe button, like, and always tune in next time.